Well, Selman Ogut is a human rights researcher based in Istanbul. He joins us now here in the studio. Thank you very much for your time and for joining us. I just want to start by asking your reaction to the news. People can now be held without charge for 30 days following the state of emergency. What's your reaction to that?
It is, I think, a natural measure of the government under the state of emergency, because we know there are some loopholes in all of the continental Europe legal systems, and this is not the Anglo-Saxon system, it's a written law, and we know the loopholes in the decrees and bylaws, and of course we know the written law. So it's important to extend the detention process, because otherwise it would be more possible to see some fugitives, just like in the Greece right now. So we shouldn't mix up with two things. The first one is to suspend the fundamental rights and freedom, and the other one is the effective management of the state of emergency. Right now in Turkey, we don't see a kind of curfew or a kind of confiscation of the premises or kind of seizures of the books, magazine, or, for example, in media. We are here at the channel.
Is there a concern, though, amongst human rights groups about this new decree coming down? Is there some discontent out there?
No, I think there is a kind of impression management or a kind of distortion, because, as I said, curfew is something worse when you compare it a kind of a restriction of the freedom of movement. But here in Turkey, people are on the streets and there is no curfew or there is no confiscation. Just about the new decree, it is, you know, those decrees are subject to the state of emergency and they have the force of a law. And this is just the effective management of the process, and this is just about the detentions, apprehensions, and those kind of measures, and it is not against fundamental rights and freedom. The most important point is government, I think, mistakenly said that it is suspension of fundamental rights and freedom. It's not like this. Suspension is not the true word to use in that way, because in France they say declared. Government just declared a state of emergency. Maybe it's just a mistake related to the translation. But the government right now didn't suspend those fundamental rights and freedoms, because we are on the street. And there is no ban on the flights or kind of.
Let's talk about the legal process at the moment. A number of people have been detained and arrested as well. How can the judiciary cope at the moment with the sheer numbers of people, the process it's going through? Yeah, especially when some of the judiciary have been detained themselves.
Yeah, you know, the number is, I think, not so high in Turkey, because the population of Turkey is approximately 8 million people. And yeah, those people are at some very, how can I say, some important, they got the important places at the organs of the state. But right now the process, the legal process, is not under danger, or there is no unprofessional management of the process. If there will be some, you know, places which are empty because of the detentions, so there can be some new assignments, and we see some urgent assignments. And it is also very important to be able to publish those kind of decrees in force of law, because those assignments also they can be also done very easily.
There's a couple of issues I want to touch on with you very quickly. These new decrees that have come down today, the first, will they expire as soon as the state of emergency comes to an end, or can they be extended beyond the state of emergency?
For more 3 months, you are asking.
Yes, yeah.
President Erdogan said that they can also follow the France's example, because France, you know, they extend the state of emergency process. So some of the people from the government, they say that 3 months can be enough, but President Erdogan also indicated the possibility of the extension of the state of emergency. It can be, but we have to know that the people from Europe, they shouldn't be so concerned about Turkey, because here in Turkey people are so pleased to see this kind of emergency measures, because they know that there is a problem related to state organs and some people who are the member of a terrorist group. And this is the people say that it is just a kind of evacuation process in Turkey, and they are so happy to see this kind of process.
Okay, Selman, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.